Hello, everyone. I hope all is well with you guys. Welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you are subscribed. Thank you so much. Hit the like, guys, you guys. Share, 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 and please leave me a comment or an emoji. That really will help to get me into this algorithm going the right way. Also, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button because when I get to 2,000, I will start going live and we can interact, okay? So, you guys, Tina Turner has passed away at the age of 83. I was so shocked to see this. One of the reasons why I actually thought about her yesterday, and the reason why I thought about her is because I was just thinking of all the famous people other than Selena Gomez who have gone through kidney transplantation lately. And Tina Turner was like the oldest one that I'd known of who'd had a kidney transplant. In case you guys didn't know, she had a stroke a few years ago, and she also was recovering from intestinal cancer, I think it was. And that's where they found out that her kidney function had declined to around 20% or so. And she was given a choice: go on dialysis or have a kidney transplant before you reach the level of dialysis, which I think is like 15% of GFR, glomerular filtrate rate, which just tells how much blood per, I think it's per minute or second, that your kidneys are filtering. So, and filtering properly, I might add. There's a bunch of different blood tests that go along with the kidney panel that can show the doctors how the kidneys are doing. So anyway, for any of you guys who are going through kidney disease, chronic kidney disease, renal failure, which is something that I'm going through, you know, all of these numbers are super scary when you're in it, right? So anyway, you guys, we all know that Tina was an amazing singer. She could move you to tears or move you to dancing. And from the 80s on, I mean, I loved every single song that she has sang. Prior to that, you know, I was born in the 70s. Prior to that, the only song that I absolutely know and love, shoots, it just popped out of my head. But anyway, it was really big in Europe. It'll come back soon. Anyway, so her kidney transplant was, the kidney was actually donated by her husband, a man that she'd married. They lived in Zurich, and he gave her a kidney after all those years that she was with that abusive clown, Ike Turner, who treated her so horribly. And then she marries a man in her later years who gives her a kidney because he loved her that much, that he wanted her around and he didn't want to see her suffer. So, I mean, seriously, from that hell that she lived to that type of love, I'm so happy for her that she found that before she left this world. So they haven't given a cause of death so far. Some places are reporting after a long illness. Maybe that long illness was the renal disease and, you know, after effects from the stroke that she'd had years ago. Maybe, you know, something was going on with that donated kidney, because, you know, people think that everything's perfect and hunky-dory after a transplant. Yes, your life is extended, but it is work. It's work to keep the kidney, and you have to be dedicated to that medication regimen, your doctor's appointments, and just following the rules to keep that kidney. For myself, I'd had a kidney transplant after 16 years on dialysis, And yes, I was diagnosed with lupus. In case you guys haven't heard any of my older videos, I was diagnosed with lupus nephritis, lupus that affects the kidneys, when I was 11 years old. But I actually started showing symptoms years before that, and they just got really, really worse, really bad when I was around 10 years old, which is what led them to be more diligent in trying to find out what was causing all of this to happen. I mean, I was an 11-year-old child in the hospital. The doctors didn't know what to do to bring my blood pressure down anymore. They just told my grandmother, we need to call her mom. She may not make it through the night. That is how high my blood pressure had gotten from the effects of the lupus on my kidneys. So, your people don't realize this though. Your kidneys and your adrenal glands regulate, along with some hormones, regulate your blood pressure. And if your kidney is out of whack, your blood pressure is going to be out of whack. So I had to start taking medication to regulate my blood pressure at 11 years old. Anyway, back to Tina. I just brought all of this up. I usually try to base what I'm saying on something that has happened to me if I've gone through something similar, but just to let you know how serious a transplant is. But it was a wonderful thing that her husband did for her. Like I said, they did not give a cause of death, but I'm going to read a little piece of an article about her death. And by the way, you guys, her current husband's name is Erwin Bach. He is the man who donated a kidney to her. So this article is from the New York Post, and it just came out a little while ago, you guys. So it says that Tina Turner worried she put herself in great danger before her death. And it says that Tina Turner, who died Wednesday at age 83 following a bout with cancer, a stroke, and kidney troubles, revealed to her nearly 1 million followers that she had unwittingly gambled with her health. This is a quote from her. "Kidneys fail without pain," the 12-time Grammy winner said in the caption of her post shared March 9th in honor of International World Kidney Day. "I have put myself in great danger by refusing to face the reality that I need daily, lifelong therapy with medication," continued Turner. Nee Anna Mae Bullock, a native of Nutbush, Tennessee, that was her name before she changed it to Tina Turner. And she was from a little town called Nutbush. Remember that? Nutbush City Limits? That was a song that she and Ike had a long time ago. The "What's Love Got to Do with It" megastar's words of caution were penned beneath a photo of herself marked with the quote, "If I had known how high blood pressure and kidney disease are connected, I would have been spared a lot of suffering." So you guys, I know that I just said that when your kidneys start to fail, or when they fail, when you're in CKD and all of that, your kidneys and your adrenal glands, along with some hormones, control your blood pressure. But if your blood pressure, if you have hypertension, unspecified or anything like that, you just have high blood pressure, that can also affect the kidneys. And it can cause kidney failure, cause stroke. High blood pressure is nothing to play with. Elsewhere in the caption, Turner advised, "Show your kidneys love. They deserve it." She added, "My kidneys are victims of my not realizing that my high blood pressure should have been treated with conventional medicine. For far too long, I believed that my body was an untouchable and indestructible bastion," wrote Turner in closing. before urging fans to learn more about kidney and organ health. She had reportedly suffered a stroke in 2013, 3 years before being diagnosed with an intestinal cancer in 2016. She underwent a kidney transplant in April 2017. A spokesperson for The Best Singer announced she died peacefully in her home in Küsnacht, I think that's how you say it, near Zurich, Switzerland. And she was living there with her husband, who is a European Caucasian male. Erwin Bach was his name. And like I said, he loved her enough to give her one of his kidneys. So you guys, I'm looking at this timeline that she had the stroke in 2013. She was diagnosed with intestinal cancer in 2016, and then she had the transplant in 2017. I don't know about Zurich, where she was, but here in Louisiana, in the United States, if you have cancer, I don't know about every transplant hospital or transplant program, but the programs that I have been a part of in Louisiana and in Texas, I had breast cancer, and I was because my cancer had not staged, but I had to have a bilateral mastectomy with reconstruction. I had to stay off of the list for 2 years. But a person who had undergone chemotherapy would have to stay off of the list for 5 years if their breast cancer had staged, if they had any form of cancer, would have to stay off for 5 years after treatment. That's, the rule. So I don't know what the rules are there, but that was really quickly, that was a quick turnaround from 2016 to 2017 to have that transplant after cancer. And the reason why they also want you to wait is the medications that keep you from rejecting the kidney. It causes your immune system to be suppressed so that your body will not fight that new organ, which is not your organ, right? It's a loaner. It's from someone else's body. It's your body, your immune system is looking at it like, it's an invader, and it needs to attack it to save you, to get it, to kill it, to get it out of you. So your immune system has to be suppressed. But what the medication also does is that it can cause cancer in some cases, because it causes some cells to, there's something called gingival hyperplasia, where your gums grow. They get wanting to grow over your teeth. Even as an adult, I had that when I had the transplant. I had to go get them not shaved down, but basically burned down so that they wouldn't go over my teeth. And I had to do that every 6 months for the first year and a half that I had that transplant. And then finally it stopped. But, and I also think that is how I ended up with the breast cancer. So if she already had cancer, I wonder if that cancer came back. I wonder, because that was really, really soon. Anyway, I don't know if they're going to release her cause of death. If they do, I will let you guys know. We'll keep up with it. If they don't, they have a right. She was retired. She was no longer, in the public eye. She was living her life privately. So if they decide not to, then that's their prerogative, right? And we have to respect it. But anyway, you guys, I really want to know what happened. If it was cancer, if it was the cancer that came back. We don't know, but maybe they'll let us know, right? Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And also, have you or anyone close to you had a kidney transplant? Did that person have cancer at one point before or after? Or did they do extremely well? I know people who've had their kidneys for 20 years. And I was unlucky. I had mine for 10 years, even though they told me it was only going to last 2 years, maybe, because after they put the kidney in me, they realized that it had hydronephrosis, which means it looked like someone had blown it up like a balloon, and the filters were all messed up. So I don't know, by the grace of God, I kept it that long. But it had begun causing me a lot of damage and a lot of problems after about 7 years. And I just stuck with it as long as I could. And in hindsight, I probably should have gone back on dialysis at that point instead of sticking it out and going in and out of the hospital like I did. Because now I have some, lasting effects from trying to hold on to that kidney until I got a new one. And guess what? I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. And, I'm still here though, you guys, and I can still take care of myself. I'm driving, doing my own shopping, my own cooking. And, I have days where I'm not feeling well and I just can't do anything like, going out and shopping. I just feel down and out. But I'm still here by the grace of God. And I thank Him with everything in me, from the top of my head to the sole of my feet. In Jesus' name, I thank you, Lord. Anyway, you guys, let's talk about this in the comments. See you there.